Bitcoin's 2017 UASF, a game changer in governance SegWit adoption. Imagine a world where a single group of miners could dictate the future of Bitcoin. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But that's exactly what the Bitcoin community faced in 2017. Let's dive into the dramatic events that unfolded on August 1st, 2017, and how they reshaped the landscape of the world's most famous cryptocurrency. On that fateful day, the Bitcoin community pulled off a major protocol upgrade through a mechanism known as the User-Activated Soft Fork, UASF. This event is often hailed as a game-changer in the history of Bitcoin. The UASF was a collaborative effort spearheaded by users and developers aimed at activating segregated witness, SegWit. SegWit is a technical upgrade designed to enhance the scalability of the Bitcoin network and reduce transaction fees. It achieves this by reorganizing how block data is stored, making the system more efficient. But here's where it gets controversial. The UASF bypassed the need for miner approval, asserting a new form of on-chain governance and symbolizing a significant shift in user sovereignty. Before this groundbreaking move, Bitcoin was grappling with serious scalability issues. Network congestion and sky-high fees had the community in a heated debate over how to address the 1 megabyte block size limit. Powerful mining entities, including Bitmain, backed a rival solution called SegWit 2x, which proposed increasing the block size. However, many within the community were wary of this approach, fearing it would compromise the decentralized nature of the network. The UASF set a non-negotiable deadline for SegWit activation, effectively challenging the dominance of miners who had previously held sway over protocol decisions. The activation of SegWit on August 1, 2017, led to a brief period of network instability. Some miners refused to adopt the upgrade, leading to a split that resulted in the creation of Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Bitcoin Cash took a different path to scalability by adopting an 8 megabyte block size. While Bitcoin Cash gained a following, the broader market has continued to favor Bitcoin, BTC. SegWit adoption has expanded, and further innovations like the Lightning Network have built upon its infrastructure. The ideological divide that emerged during this period is still evident in the ecosystem. Supporters of SegWit and on-chain solutions prioritize protocol security and decentralization. Alternatives like Bitcoin Cash, on the other hand, focus on faster transaction speeds and direct merchant usability. Despite the lack of consensus, the UASF reinforced a crucial principle: no single group can unilaterally control the direction of Bitcoin. Fast forward to 2025, and Bitcoin's valuation has soared, reaching a peak of over $117,000. But the direct link between governance decisions and price movements is far from straightforward. Nonetheless, the events of August 1, 2017 are often cited as a milestone that boosted investor confidence by demonstrating the network's resilience against centralized control. This anniversary serves as a constant reminder of the delicate balance between technical sovereignty and market dynamics. And this is the part most people miss. The UASF was not just a technical upgrade, it was a statement of intent. It showed that the Bitcoin community values decentralization and user sovereignty above all else. But what do you think? Do you believe that the UASF was a necessary step towards a more decentralized future? Or was it a risky move that could have led to further fragmentation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's spark a lively debate. Bitcoin's Independence Day, reflecting on 8 years since the block size wars. Bitcoin's Independence Day, a look back at the block size wars, 8 years later. It's hard to believe that 8 years have passed since one of the most defining moments in Bitcoin's history. A moment that nearly tore the community apart. On August 1, 2017, a major upgrade known as Segregated Witness, SegWit, was activated, fundamentally changing how Bitcoin operated and setting the stage for a dramatic split in the network. This event, now celebrated by some as Bitcoin Independence Day, marked a turning point that continues to shape the cryptocurrency world today. But here's where it gets controversial. The decision to implement SegWit wasn't just a technical update. It was a philosophical battle over what Bitcoin should become. Should it be a peer-to-peer digital cash system for everyday transactions, or a decentralized store of value like digital gold? The answer to that question led to a hard fork and the birth of Bitcoin Cash, BCH, and the debate still rages on. To understand the significance of this moment, we need to go back to the block size wars, a heated conflict within the Bitcoin community. At the heart of the issue was a simple question. How big should each block in the Bitcoin blockchain be? Blocks are like containers that hold batches of transactions, and the bigger they are, the more transactions they can hold. One side, often called the big blockers, believed that increasing the block size was essential for Bitcoin to scale and be used for everyday payments. Led by influential figures like Roger Ver, often referred to as Bitcoin Jesus, this group argued that Bitcoin could only fulfill Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision of a peer-to-peer electronic cash system if it could handle a high volume of transactions quickly and cheaply. On the other side were developers, node operators, and longtime Bitcoin users who opposed increasing the block size. They warned that larger blocks would require more storage space and computing power, making it harder for average users to run full nodes. And if only large companies or wealthy individuals could afford to run nodes, Bitcoin would become more centralized, a direct contradiction to its core principles. This tension came to a head in 2017 when Bitcoin Improvement Proposal, BIP 91, was activated. This proposal paved the way for SegWit, which restructured how transaction data was stored, freeing up space in each block without technically increasing its size. SegWit also laid the groundwork for the Lightning Network, a second-layer solution that allows users to make fast, low-cost transactions off the main blockchain, with only the final balances settled on-chain. And this is the part most people miss. SegWit wasn't just a technical workaround. It represented a shift in Bitcoin's strategic direction. Instead of scaling on-chain with larger blocks, Bitcoin would scale off-chain using solutions like the Lightning Network. This approach preserved decentralization, but sparked outrage among those who believed it compromised Bitcoin's utility as a currency. On August 1, 2017, the tension boiled over. A faction of miners and users who supported larger blocks broke away from the main Bitcoin network, launching their own version, Bitcoin Cash. This new chain increased the block size to 8 megabytes, later raised to 32 megabytes, promising faster and cheaper transactions. So where are Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash today, 8 years later? Bitcoin Cash had a promising start, reaching an all-time high of around $1,600 in May 2021 during the last bull market. However, it struggled to maintain momentum and crashed to an all-time low of about $90 during the 2022 bear market. As of now, BCH is trading at around $552, roughly the same price it was at when it first launched in August 2017. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has seen massive growth. On August 1, 2017, BTC was valued at around $2,718. Today, it trades at approximately $115,000, still down from its all-time high of $122,000, but up nearly 4,200% over the past 8 years. Bitcoin now has a market capitalization of over $2.2 trillion, while Bitcoin Cash sits at just $10.9 billion. The divergence in performance reflects deeper philosophical differences. Bitcoin has increasingly been adopted as a store of value, a digital gold, by institutional investors and corporations. Bitcoin Cash, despite its technical capabilities for fast transactions, has struggled to gain the same level of trust and adoption. This ongoing debate raises important questions. Was the Bitcoin community right to prioritize decentralization over scalability? Is Bitcoin Cash a legitimate alternative or a failed experiment? And as Bitcoin continues to evolve, how should it balance its dual roles as both a currency and a store of value? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Bitcoin made the right choice by going down the path of SegWit and the Lightning Network? Or should it have embraced larger blocks like Bitcoin Cash? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to share your take on one of the most controversial chapters in crypto history. Bitcoin's Independence Day. How SegWit reshaped the network and sparked major fork. Bitcoin's pivotal moment. How SegWit's 2017 activation transformed the network and triggered a major split. Crypto Chronicles, Friday, August 1st, 2025. 3:01 p.m. Eastern Time, 2-minute read. On this day in 2017, Bitcoin underwent a seismic shift that would redefine its future and set the stage for one of its most significant forks. The activation of Segregated Witness, SegWit, was a critical software upgrade that resolved a contentious debate over scaling, marking what some call Bitcoin's Declaration of Independence. The scaling dispute, big blockers versus small blockers. The dispute centered around whether to increase the block size to handle more transactions or seek alternative methods. Big blockers, consisting mainly of miners and developers, advocated for larger blocks to boost transaction throughput. However, they faced opposition from node operators and users concerned about centralization risks stemming from higher storage requirements. Roger Ver, a vocal proponent of increased block sizes, argued that Bitcoin's limited capacity hindered its potential as a global peer-to-peer payment system. His faction ultimately forked the Bitcoin network, giving rise to Bitcoin Cash (BCH), which emphasized larger blocks to enhance transactional capacity. SegWit, a new path forward. SegWit introduced a novel solution by optimizing transaction structures without altering block sizes. It reduced miner influence on protocol upgrades and paved the way for off-chain innovations like the Lightning Network, enabling faster, cheaper transactions. The widespread support for SegWit, signaled by the activation of BIP91, allowed the upgrade to proceed without necessitating a hard fork. The aftermath. Bitcoin's soaring value and BCH's limited growth in the 8 years since the SegWit activation. Bitcoin has witnessed remarkable growth in both value and adoption. From around $2,718 on August 1, 2017, its price surged to approximately $115,000 in 2024. Meanwhile, Bitcoin Cash has experienced minimal growth, hovering around the $550 mark since its inception. Bitcoin's market cap now stands at over $2.2 trillion, overshadowing Bitcoin Cash's $10.9 billion valuation. This stark contrast underscores the enduring ideological divide between those who view Bitcoin as a primary store of value and those who perceive it as a global digital currency. Scaling debates and the evolution of Bitcoin. The debate over scaling and use cases persists, with SegWit exemplifying how technical advancements can address challenges while preserving Bitcoin's decentralized ethos. As the network evolves, the lessons from this critical juncture remain pertinent. The successful implementation of SegWit demonstrated that consensus-driven innovation can propel progress without compromising the protocol's fundamental principles. This anniversary serves as a testament to Bitcoin's resilience and adaptability, highlighting its capacity to grow and thrive through collaboration and technical prowess. But here's where it gets controversial. How will future scaling debates shape Bitcoin's trajectory? Will new forks emerge, or will the network find a way to unify under a common vision? What are your thoughts on the future of Bitcoin scaling? Do you believe it will continue to innovate and adapt, or will it face insurmountable challenges? Share your insights in the comments section below.